TV. This program is brought to you by Rogers Xfinity, connecting you to more of what you love. Visit Rogers.com for more details.
We are back in Sauble Beach for another car show on this Tuesday evening. I'm here with Greg. Greg, thanks for coming out tonight. Greg is our newest show marshal. Today's his first day on the job.
Yep.
Greg, how excited are you today to be at the show?
Well, it's always fun down here, and there's lots of people around, so it's a good time.
That's awesome. So this is your first day as show marshal,
Yes.
and you've been coming to the show prior to that for how long?
A couple of years. I've been bringing a car pretty consistent every Tuesday night, so I figure if I'm here every week, I might as well help them out and volunteer and help get cars parked and make sure everybody's safe.
There you go. And have you brought other cars besides this one behind us here?
Yeah, I have a 1984 GTS, Celica
Okay.
GTS that I usually have. It's having some mechanical problems with power steering, so I've brought in a 1990 Supra this week.
This is a pretty cool car. This thing looks pretty awesome.
It's all stock.
Okay.
It's pretty much as it would have come from the factory. There has been no modifications to this car whatsoever.
How many times?
It's a low mileage car. For 35 years old, it has 95,000 kilometers.
That's pretty good for 35 years.
Yep.
That's not bad at all.
Yeah.
So how many shows has this guy been to here?
This is probably the second week I've brought it here, and then I've been to a couple other local shows in
Nice.
Southampton, Walkerton, and Kincardine over the last couple of weeks.
Okay, last couple
So
weeks.
it's been out quite a bit the last few weeks.
So in those last few weeks, which is the best show? Come on.
This one, by far.
Obviously, Sauble Beach, right? So what makes Sauble Beach a little bit more special than the other shows in town?
I like coming to Sauble Beach because the folks that are down here every week are quite often different. So while some of the cars might be the same, or for someone who comes every week, the people who come and visit and ask questions are different every single week.
Every time, yeah.
What I find is there's always lots of people who come up for the week and know about the show on Tuesday nights and bring their cars with them. And so you do see different cars every week.
Yeah, and it attracts a big crowd.
Oh, yeah.
And best view of all the car shows, that's for sure.
For sure, yeah.
All right, let's take a look at this engine here.
Okay, so this is an inline six. It's a 7M GTE. The GTE stands for turbo. So it is a single turbo engine. Makes about 230 horsepower. And runs very smooth.
Runs very smoothly.
Yep.
This thing looks cool.
Yeah,
This is like
it's a really nice touring car. Runs well on the highway. Runs well at highway speed. Yeah, it's a great touring car. And given the mileage on the car, it pretty much drives like it's new.
How long have you had it for yourself?
Just about a month.
Oh, this is like new.
This is
for
a
you.
new vehicle for me.
Oh, that's
yeah.
too cool.
So I have not really, I've sort of washed it a little bit. I haven't even gone over it well with cleaning compound and stuff. So this is pretty much how
you got
I found it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, this is in great shape for just picking it up.
Yeah, it's a really
That's
nice car. It's a
incredible.
nice, glad to have it.
It's really cool. Let's take a look at the inside here. And this is pretty unique. I love this no top, but you still got half the cover for the back seats.
So this is referred to as a target top. It's really nice for driving, especially at highway speeds. For anybody who's used to having a regular convertible, there could be a lot of backdraft.
Yeah.
Because this is a target, it gives you the feeling of being in a convertible, yet this blocks the backdraft. And so
Right.
there's very little noise and very little wind when you're in the car, even driving on the highway.
Right,
So it's a
lot
it's a
smoother
pretty
ride.
nice experience being on the
cool.
highway with a Targa roof. This is a little bit of a unique color. This was a special order car according to the previous owner.
Okay.
So the color is a little bit different than most. So it's a bit of a grayish blue as opposed to more of a royal blue.
Right.
And that gives it that different color. The other thing that's a little bit unique with this car is it was a special order with an automatic. A lot of these cars are standard, a 5-speed. Because this car is all original, it will never get altered. It will always stay in the configuration that it's in because it's a low mileage car that's unique.
Well, this is a pretty cool car. It's a beautiful car.
Thank you.
This is around my time in high school. This is what everyone was driving, stuff like this. So it's kind of cool
Yeah,
to see it out here.
these cars came out when I was in university and fell in love with them. And when I was old enough to start having cars and enjoying them, I started to, aiming more towards Toyotas. You don't see them very often.
No, definitely
And
not
they're
here.
fun cars to collect and keep on the road. You have to do some old school stuff with collecting parts cars and,
Yeah.
mechanically you can still get a lot of parts and stuff for them, but
Yeah,
when it
Toyotas
comes
are
to body
reliable.
pieces and trim pieces and interior trim especially, you got to hunt. And so
Yeah.
they're an interesting car to try and keep on the road from that perspective.
Well, this is an awesome car. Thanks so much for bringing it out today.
Thank
And
you.
I look forward to seeing you show Marshall some more shows.
Thank you.
Let's go check out some more cars. Here in Sauble Beach, we got sun, sand, and classic cars. We're here with Mike Smith and one of the more unique cars I've seen at the car show today. Mike, thanks for coming out today.
You're welcome.
And we love seeing cars like this come out here. So tell me, what kind of car is this? What are we looking at
This
right
is
now?
a recreation of a 1955 300 SLR.
Okay.
This is the car that made Sterling Moss famous in the Millie Malini 1,000-mile race.
This is the car that he drove
This is
right
the
here.
style of car.
And so what do you mean by a recreation?
Well, you can't buy these cars. They're not for sale anywhere. They're in German museums.
Okay. And so you built this one yourself?
A guy started this in 1987, and I found it in the backyard in pieces in 2008. And
wow.
he was about 80 then, and he said, I can't finish this. So he sold it to me, and I finished it. Took 25 years from beginning to end to build this car.
Bring it back to life like this. That's incredible.
Ever.
Well, you're gonna have to give us a tour of this car because this is such a cool car. This
Yeah.
is so unique. We can start right off the bat with this 722.
Well, 722 represents Sterling Moss's number when he started the Millie Malini race. It's the start time, 7:22 in the morning.
That's when he
The
started?
next car would have 2 minutes later on it, a different number, but that's how the race was run by the time of that car. It was not a race against a car, it was a race against time.
Right. And then they would just check what time they'd finish after
Yeah, and then when it
1,000
came
miles.
across, they saw 7:22 and they clicked his time. He won the race.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's incredible. So if this was an original, you said you can't buy them anymore. How much would it
They
be
won't
worth?
sell them.
How much would they be worth?
Well, the original last year was a gull wing. They made 2 gull wings, I believe, and the rest were coupes
Okay.
or roasters. And one gull wing sold last year for 142 million.
That is insane.
Yeah.
So this is not the gull wing though. This
No,
is
this is not the
coupe
gull
here.
wing, and this is not going to sell for that kind of money. But
Right.
this car was voted the sports car of the century in well, up until 2000, I guess. But it was the sports car of the century.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's see
Okay.
what's under the hood of the sports car of the century. Look at that.
That's it.
All right. This is too cool inside.
Well, it's the 350 Chev.
Right.
Easy to find parts, easy to build. And it's got the fuel injection, Phytech fuel injection on top. I put that on a couple of years ago.
You put that one in, yeah. So you put all of that in, or is that
Oh
the
yeah, no,
previous
this is
guy?
all me.
Yeah.
Oh, everything is me. There was just an engine sitting in there.
Right. Well, this is pretty cool. It looks nice. So what's the horsepower on this thing?
I don't know what a 350 is, around 280.
280, yeah.
I don't know what
This is awesome. And then what is this? The Corvette logo?
Well,
in
that's
there?
a Corvette fuel injection.
Right.
It's kind of a tribute to my brother. This has got fuel injection, and it's a Chevy engine, and that was a crest that belonged to my brother, and he died, and I thought, well, I'll just put it on the car.
Oh, that's a
for him.
nice tribute. That's pretty cool itself. What a story.
Yeah.
How about the interior here? This thing is.
Well, I did it all.
This is awesome. This is so cool.
I did all the interior. Here,
So
you
what are we
open the
looking
door
at?
this way.
50 draws, 730.
That's a Nardi steering wheel.
Okay.
You know anything about Nardi, you'll see his signatures on there. The bottom of the corner, you see his signature?
Oh yeah, just on the.
Somebody
on the
told me
side
it's
there.
rare to have a Nardi sign their signature steering wheel, but
And then it's got the logo in the front. This is a beautiful interior too. 300 SLR on this dash there. This thing is awesome. So what inspired you to make this, to build it?
Where inspired me? I just saw it in the backyard and I thought, make a hot rod out of it or something. And my brother, I just mentioned, he saw it and he said, no. He says, put that back the way best you can to make it look like the real car.
The real thing.
So that's what we did.
I really like even the side mirrors there. They're so unique with the rounded.
There's a lot of parts out of this, eh?
Yeah.
Like the side mirrors are off of a TR3.
Okay.
The windshield is out of a MGB.
All right.
And the top is out of an MGB.
It's incredible. Look how cool this is. Can we close the hood to see the front here? This is too cool. So you got this piece right here.
Well, that was originally to draw air into the carburetors.
Yeah. And it just just the lines on it is.
Oh yeah, the lines are something
car.
else.
And the lights like this are very unique. They're huge.
Dennis Gage looked at this car the other night in Kincardine. He says, I've never seen anything like this before.
Oh yeah?
I was quite impressed.
Not too many people have, I'd imagine. If the originals were going for 150 million.
Well, they are. There's only 8 of these, by the way. The story of the guys that built this, I got that from a guy right here that said, I know who built your car. And I said, how do you know who built this car, the body?
Yeah.
He said, I worked with them. I said, well, where did you work with them? He said, in Redmond, Washington.
No way.
They closed an airplane plant there. And the guy said, well, what are we going to do? So they built these. And
there was only 8 built.
they built the frame to specification. Like it's not just 2 rails, it's a race car frame.
Right.
And then they built the body. And then they started to sell the body and the frames. And they got 8 of them out. And then Mercedes-Benz said, we don't want you to build anymore.
Yeah, you have to stop.
So that was the end of it. There's only 8 of these now.
That's incredible. Oh, this is a very cool car. I love it. Thanks so much, Mike, for bringing it out.
Okay, you're welcome.
Everyone gets to enjoy this beautiful car. We appreciate that. And I can't wait to see it next week.
Okay. Next week, I'll be back.
Let's keep looking at some classic cars.
All right.
Now we're here with Jody and this stunning Camaro she brought out to the show today. Jody, thanks for coming out. Thanks for bringing this beautiful car. So what year is this Camaro right here?
1969.
This is 69 Camaro.
Yeah.
The color is so cool. It's got like the black on black going. What's this color called here?
It's actually, I can't remember the actual paint code, but it was taken off of my 2010 Camaro.
Okay.
So we did the same color scheme.
So you took it from that.
So we took it from a
the stripes
2010
as
Chevy Camaro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then how long ago did you have that one?
I still have it.
You still have the 2010?
Yeah.
When did you get this guy?
So this was, I think, 4 years ago.
Okay.
We got it just a shell.
Yeah.
It was just like a restoration project.
Yeah.
And then, we
And then
put it all together.
How long has it been on the road for?
I would say 4 years.
4 years
I
on the
think
road?
4
So you
years,
guys were
yeah.
able to get it done pretty quickly then?
Yeah, within a year, I believe.
You had it all set up, ready to go?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, this thing is pretty cool. You got the 350 on the side here.
Mm-hmm.
The SS in the front. I love the front in general.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's such a cool, it's almost like a monster looking car, you know?
Yeah.
It looks mean. I love this thing. This is so cool. Tell me about the tire. Is the back tires thicker
back
than the
tires
front
are
tires?
wider.
They're
Yeah.
wider, eh?
Yeah.
How come? Why is that?
Just the stance, just the look.
Just the standard look?
Yep.
This thing could probably come off the line pretty hard in a quarter mile.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Not that you've ever tried that
I've never
before.
tried that. Nope.
No, of course not. Definitely not. These things are too cool. And then how about the actual wheels here?
So those.
Are those original wheels? Did you put those in?
No, those are off of a Corvette.
Off a Corvette?
Yeah.
Yeah. Both of them, front and back?
Yeah.
Those are
Yeah,
awesome.
those are Corvette rims.
Where did you find that? Like, so when you got it, Did you pick up parts here and there and kind of build it back together?
Yeah, the I think all we bought was the tires and the rims,
Yeah.
and then everything else was pretty much just putting it all together.
Yeah.
Had to
That's
get a frame,
awesome.
obviously, but
Look at these things. Look like shark gills. What are those called? Do you know?
fins.
Fins?
I think, yeah.
I like those. That's awesome. And then, so the stripes go up the hood and then down the back, but not on the roof. Is that normal for 69 Camaros to have them like that, or do they usually go all the way through?
You know what? I don't know. We honestly just copied what was on my car, so.
Oh, okay, so
Yeah.
it's basically what you had, the 2010. You put it onto this one?
Yep,
That's cool.
yep.
That's awesome. All right, we can't see inside because you got these beautiful blacked out windows. We take a peek at the
Yeah,
interior.
of course.
All black interior. This thing's pretty cool. Look at this. Holy, it is clean in here. So did you guys put this all together? You did the whole interior as well?
Yep, so the seats were all redone. New foam, all new
Yeah.
seat covers. Yep.
All the seats, and what about the dash here?
The dash is actually original.
Okay.
Yep. Obviously a new dash pad and center console, but
Yeah. It's got the dials in there. It's all miles per hour. Mm-hmm. So this came off the line in the States, I'd imagine.
I would imagine,
Yeah.
yeah. I
This
don't
thing
know
is
the
cool.
history of it though.
Look at that. It was awesome. All right. Well, we got to look in the hood.
Okay.
We got to see what's going on under the hood here. Holy smokes, look at this thing. Whew. This is gorgeous. Look at the size of this. Okay, walk me through what we're looking at here.
Well, 350 motor.
350 motor.
Yep.
What's the horsepower on this? Oh, you can't say. It's
You
top
know
secret.
what? It's top secret.
No.
I
Come on.
actually do not know.
No,
I don't
just
know.
a lot, eh? All you know
Yeah.
is a lot. So you guys built the whole thing?
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, it did not come with all of this. So we just put it all together and everything's pretty much new in there,
Yeah.
besides the motor, obviously.
Right. Everything else you guys built and put through, and
Yeah.
this is awesome. All right, well,
Yeah.
we got to start it up and hear what it sounds like, if that's okay.
Okay.
Can we do that?
Mm-hmm.
Gonna scare some people here. All right, let's see this. Whew. Look at that thing. Do you hear that? Come on, don't be shy. Wow. What a monster. This is a beast. That's incredible. I can feel it. I can feel it standing next to it. That's
Good?
awesome. Thank you so much.
Sorry, that was embarrassing. I can't even get the seat up.
No. You made up for it with that. This thing's so cool.
It is. It's definitely
So
fun to drive.
driving wise, what's your favorite part about the car?
Probably the sound.
The sound of it?
Mm-hmm.
When you're flying down the road?
Yep.
I
Yep.
bet it sounds pretty crazy.
Sounds pretty good.
You can probably hear it a mile down the road.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Easily.
Yeah.
That's so cool. Well, thanks so much, Jody.
No
It was a
problem.
pleasure getting a tour of this car.
Yeah,
This is a
thank you.
beautiful car. It's got to
Thanks.
be one of my favorite Camaros I've seen at the show so far. So
Awesome.
it's pretty cool. Thanks
Well,
so much.
thank you. Thank you.
Now we're here with Adam. Adam, thanks for coming out today.
Hey, nice to meet you, man. Thanks for
And
having
he
me.
brought out this incredible custom car right here. So what's the make and model of this thing?
This is a 1955 Pontiac Pathfinder Deluxe.
And you have completely redone it. Absolutely looks phenomenal. We're gonna start with the paint job here because it's a super unique paint job. It looks all custom, nice matte color black. Tell me about that.
So everything on the paint and the body, this was a BC car, and a friend of mine brought it to me from British Columbia. So it's a good solid body, really good underneath. So I pulled the body, did the frame, full custom suspension all through the underneath, and the body and paint. I went with a 30% satin black on the outside, and then I've been a lowrider kid my entire life. I've had multiple cars, 6.4 on hydros. I've done a lot of lowriding, and I wanted to do a full lowrider West Coast California paint job on this car. And it's from what I do. I'm a pinstriper and a custom painter. Been at it for a couple decades now, and I wanted something to showcase my work.
This is incredible. This does give that like West Coast feel to it. Run us through the custom job here, like the detail through the hood and then on top as well.
So when it comes down to stuff like this, we're getting into things that were born out of the West Coast in the custom game, from George Barris and all the metal flake and candy color. This is when you hear in rap songs and you hear in music when they're talking about candy and flake and all this expensive rims and stuff they have. So the paint is all silver metallic. There's a bunch of pearl, there's a bunch of flakes. And then this little trick right here is going to a fabric shop and getting some of the new lace and the wedding gowns that are coming out, laying it over top, dusting in some shadows, and then laying coats of candy. So this is pagan gold House of Color candy in multiple layers all over the car. All the different colors you see are all the same color. It's just different levels and layers of how much you put on or don't put on.
So
and
all
that's
this
how you
gold
get the
up
depth.
here.
Yeah.
So all this gold, even in here.
This is all the same House of Color pagan gold. And when I spray it, I make sure that this is going to be 7 coats. This one's only 3 coats. That one will be 4. The more you do and the more you add to a candy paint job, the deeper it goes. So when you look at a candy apple red and the bottom of the car looks black, that's because of the layers of candy on it that look like a mirror finish. Like you can put your hand right in there and grab it. So it's so deep.
So the more layers you put on, the darker it gets?
Yeah, the darker it gets, and that's every color. It just keeps darkening, darkening. So when you have a silver base or a gold base and you add all the metal flake and the pearls in there, whenever you lay that over top, it adds all that depth and reflection to it depending on the levels of the candy you lay down.
That's incredible.
It's a tinted lacquer pigment that you can put into clear coat, and it adds depth with every coat and pass you do.
Right on. That's so cool. Well, it looks incredible. And even like the fine detail everywhere is just unbelievable.
Yeah, so that's all the lowrider scroll and pinstriping that I do. This is all red variegated gold leaf that's in here, here, and here. These lines around here are 24 karat gold leaf, Manetti leaf from Italy. It's throughout the entire car. The trunk's got it all over it, all engine turned for the name of the car. It's on the bike. Yeah.
Well, that's incredible. And you got the tires here, the wheels here matching with the rims and everything.
I did the same thing, yeah, gold candy.
So that's the same color, just?
Yeah, it's just the same color. So what I did was I wanted to tie in, I didn't want the same gold candy on everything. So I tied in that amount of coats with this amount of coats.
Okay.
But I tied in this amount of coats, which was 3, with that flame in the center.
Okay.
So I tied things in so that there's different levels and that it wasn't just one solid color of gold all the way around it. That way this ties with here, that ties with this, these tie together, and so on. So you have a uniform, and it brings a multitude of colors and patterns and a bigger palette to the car.
That's absolutely incredible. I love that. Even up here, did you get this on top here? That's so cool.
Yeah, did all the striping. I've been doing this stuff since I was a kid, and all the old hand lettering like you see on signs and tattoo shops and windows. I've been doing that stuff for decades.
So how much time does it take you to do something like this? Like not the whole
the roof
build,
itself,
but just the roof, say.
The roof itself probably took, I'd say, give or take, almost a month.
Oh yeah?
I could have done it probably a little bit quicker than that, but I wasn't on it every day. I was working on it. The trick with when you're shooting a lacquer candy, doesn't matter who makes it, you have to be precise with your measurements and your timing and your dry times.
Right.
And if you're not doing and you're not set up to do all these panels all at the same time, you better write everything down, because if you don't remember it and don't have it written down to have it exactly the same way, the next time you go to do something else, it will be completely different.
It'll be totally different.
It'll look totally different. So we write down dry times, how much did I put in, how much clear coat did I have, what did I use, what was the temperature. Make sure you never shoot in a storm, because if the power goes out, you're done.
Right.
Because you can't have stripes or lines in it.
So
as
the
soon as you do it,
dry time makes a big difference.
Huge, because that flash time is allowing your thinners and allowing your reducers to evaporate out of there so the pigment can dry. And if it's too wet and you get a run and this thing starts to sag, it'll pull that pigment down and you'll end up with, and you'll never get it out. It'll be stuck in it. You'll have to sand it down, redo the base, redo the pearls, the candies, the flakes, and then reshoot it all again.
Well, we can definitely see the passion that you put into this paint job and the precision. It is an absolute, it's an art piece. Like, it's an art piece.
Yeah, and that's what I wanted. That's what I did. I did these on bikes. I've done so many bikes. I've done a ton of cars. And this one here, I just wanted to make sure I went full out. I did the fender skirts down on the bottom. They're different on each side. I added in all different.
Those.
So those are just little low
That's
riding.
cool.
Those are different effects from the mini truck. And in low riding days, you've got your scales, you got your fan patterns. They did 3D blocks. This is all stuff they toyed with the 60s and the 70s and the 80s, coming out of the custom culture, and then low riding in California took it over.
We got to see this interior though.
Oh, the old Mexican blankets.
That's what
they
it
came
looks
from
like
right
to
here
me.
at the gift bowl.
No way.
Yeah, when the gift
Actually?
bowl was open like 7-8 years ago, when it was still open and it was still a little gift shop and everything.
Yeah.
They used to sell all the Mexican blankets in there for like 20 bucks a piece.
So you just grabbed those
Yeah,
and then
I
put them in?
I restitched everything, bull hooked everything underneath, sew it all together, and put them all in so they're actually proper. They're not just tucked in, so they're actually.
They're on there. Like
They're
that's
on
the
there.
upholstery of the seat right there.
Yep.
That's so cool. Let's see this this interior dash. Why don't you run us through that red button on the stick
it's
shift there?
Plain Jane stock dash. The Chevy dashes were great. The 55 Pontiacs that were built in Canada, like this one, are built on the Chevy platform. So everything in this car is a 55 Chevy Bel Air. So
Okay.
it resembles. That's why it looks so much like it, except for the front and rear, front clip and the rear clip. So the dashes look awesome. I've got the original traffic viewfinder because I have a visor on the car and it's tough to see traffic lights. That's what that little thing on the dash is. That's a prism that actually reflects the traffic lights down in so you can see it when you have a visor.
No way.
Yeah. And then the shifter handle is one of my paint cups from me doing candy on this car, so I used it as the shifter knob when I built my shifter for it.
That's
and
awesome.
inside that red button turns on the my old Trico purple glass lights that light up the bicycle that are mounted on the bumper that are a lowrider accessory. All those lights have become very expensive and hard to get now because the lowrider community is eating up that stuff. All these little accessories matter when guys are building these high-end cars.
And that's such a unique piece. Thanks for sharing.
Oh, 100%.
Okay, so
man.
tell me, Adam, how can people follow the story of Lead Kings, this car, kind of some of your work?
We've got a lot of social media. We do a lot of stuff on YouTube. We got a full channel. It's my name, Adam Pettengill. We do a lot of traveling around North America for big shows, for the Mini Truck Nationals, Lone Star Throwdown in Texas. We're one of the big organizers for Motorama in Toronto at the International Center. We have another big show that comes up here in Rockton in Ontario, which is the show we put on, traditional hot rod show called the Jalopy Jam Up. It's in its 15th
Jalopy
year.
Jam Up.
Traditional hot rods and customs, and that's all
That's
it is.
cool.
And we get hundreds and hundreds from all over North America. The Lead Kings is just our custom club here in Ontario. Everybody knows us because we've got a good tight community of guys. But it's how you find me, man. We're out
That's
here.
awesome,
We're out
man.
here.
Thanks
and
so
we're
much, Adam.
enjoying life.
This car
Appreciate it, brother.
is so cool. Thanks for bringing it out.
Yeah, man.
We love when cars like this come out to Sauble. And,
It's always here driving around somewhere. I just haven't
yeah.
had a chance to bring it down. So.
Well, bring it next week. Everyone's stopping by to check it out,
yeah,
so we
for sure.
appreciate that so
I'll be
much.
here.
And that's the whole night. Thanks for joining us for another Sauble Beach Car Show. We'll be back next week for more sun, sand, and classic cars.
Connect with us by visiting our website or email us at comments@rogerstv.com.
With Rogers TV, you can cheer on the home team from the comfort of your living room. We'll head to the rink, the field, the court, or the pitch, so you don't have to. Tune in and cheer on your local amateur athletes on Rogers TV.
My childhood was quite difficult growing up in the foster system. As a foster child, you don't get access to a lot of the same opportunities that biological children would. When I started post-secondary, the grant